Everyone. I hope you're all doing really well. So, today I'm going to share something very important with you all, which is to do with stopping twin flame obsession, which is something that we've all been guilty of. And from time to time, we do slip into twin flame obsession, even if we do have days where we aren't really obsessing, but especially because of YouTube and the number of people that we follow, and the updates that we keep getting about divine masculine energy or what is really happening, this obsession becomes deeper. So I do want to speak of this, and I will be taking a very spiritual approach into understanding obsession, and I hope that it helps you. So essentially, Sadhguru always says this interesting and incredible thing where he talks about you can choose the thoughts that you are thinking. And he doesn't say it in these words, but I've heard him say something like, if you can choose to be joyful or you can choose to be miserable, make a choice. And then he jokes and says, I'm going to bless you right now, make a choice. Okay, so obviously people say we are going to choose to be joyful, so you bless us to always be joyful, right? And I used to always wonder that why does he say that you can choose to be joyful if you can choose to be miserable? I used to think it's not a choice really, because I have no control over how I'm waking up, and if I'm feeling miserable today, then I'm miserable. If I'm feeling happy, then I'm happy. And this is something that, as I have deepened my spiritual practice and experience, and definitely the twin flame journey does deepen your spirituality and takes you to the next level, right? Whatever level of spirituality you're at, when you get initiated into this journey, it just takes you so much deeper into yourself, into feeling your feelings, into looking at how you're behaving, your thought patterns, into looking at how you generally operate. There is such a great self awareness that comes as you move along in the journey, that this self awareness can truly be, it can really shatter some of your old beliefs that you have. So, I will just share this experience that I had with regards to understanding that, if I, like, when you're on your twin flame journey, if you, for instance, see a tarot card reading about twin flames, all right, and you see something which says, you know what, your divine masculine is going to come back, and oh, this full moon which is coming is such an incredible time when the journey is going to quicken, and you will have great communication, your union is coming, and you immediately love this, and you're like, wow, you're tripping after listening to this tarot reading which has resonated with you because you've seen all the right numbers, the video is the correct length, and the comments are 33, or there are like 11 minute long video, or the time of at the time you clicked on the video was this much. How we just tap into all of that and overthink our way through this. Let's also be logical about it. Numbers do guide us, yes, but we sometimes tend to overly sort of obsess with numbers and everything, completely missing the point of how they are your guidance, but they're not something that you're meant to be going crazy about, right? Balance is key to everything. So essentially, you see this video and now you're on cloud nine. Now you're like, wow. And now your emotions completely shift because the thought has completely shifted. The thought is that I am so happy because my twin flame is coming back and I'm going to have perfect union because this tarot card reader said this. And it did not just come through YouTube. Maybe you got a reading done and this is what the reader told you, right? And then your emotions end up being, I'm supremely excited and happy now. And for the next 5-6 hours, if you maybe that long or maybe even a couple of hours, you maintain that high. And if you are in deep self awareness, where you will observe every part of yourself, especially how the mind is working. Because remember, you're not the mind. You are the observer of the mind, all right? So when you're observing the mind and you're observing how this thought created this emotion, you very well can also observe how another kind of a thought can create a completely opposite emotion. So for instance, maybe today somebody posted a video about the twin flame journey and the karmic partner, and somebody said, oh, you know what, they're saying this to the karmic, they're still with the karmic is doing this, so there is black magic happening. Not to say that it doesn't happen, I know that these things do happen, but when you're on a journey of ascension, Essentially, your vibration should be so high, and you should tap into the divine source so much that with time these energies should stop having an impact on you. And you must always seek protection. If you want to wear anything protective around you, you should. If you have a very powerful daily meditation practice, these energies will never come to you, because they only attack people who are unconscious, right? Many healers have even spoken of this. Only when you're in low vibrational energies of guilt or feeling really really sad and all of that, and you persist in those vibrations for a continued period of time, can then these negative things attack you. But essentially, let us say, you watched a video, or you are a tarot card reader or somebody else said this to you, that you have these negative influences, or your twin is with the karmic, or the twin has probability of marrying someone else or something like that. Now this thought comes in, right? It comes in from a completely different place. You start thinking about it, and immediately your emotion turns into, I'm so sad, I'm so upset, I'm so hopeless. And all the belief systems that you have already carried in, your unconscious mind regarding a state of hopelessness love to jump in and love to make it worse for you at this point in time. So everything will be like, oh, I already knew this, because you know what, nobody anyway loves me. Anyway, success doesn't happen to me. I'm a failure. My life, always has these bad experiences. How can my twin love me? He's so good anyway, anyway, this was meant to happen, because somewhere I don't deserve this great love. Look at him, he's so good looking anyway, and I have 10 pounds extra on me, or whatever else. He's so successful, and I'm struggling with my career and God knows what. So you will go into that, and yes, this triggers a lot of, your unconscious fears as well. But you start to exist in this reality now, because you're thinking these thoughts, and these thoughts are getting bolstered by your already wounded beliefs, and the pain of the past also loves to jump in and make it worse. And then your emotions also tend to become sad. So now you spend the entire day or many many hours being very sad. Now it takes a lot of effort for you to become happy, and then you become happy, and then again this thought finds its way back to you, right? That, oh God, this tarot card reader said this to me, oh my God, this is so true, and stuff like that. And there you go, you can waste months and months, if not years, of your life with just uncontrollable thoughts that either get elicited by what you watch or by somebody else, whatever they may be saying, in a well intentioned or a poor intentioned manner, that does not matter, right? And your emotions obviously start to latch on to the thoughts, then a natural reaction to the thoughts, and then you start to exist in these emotions. So truly, if I noticed this, and especially today I actually noticed this, that the thought is my choice. I can choose, really, I can choose to create any kind of a thought I want to create. This is why affirmations work. This is why Louise Hay has done such a powerful, her body of work is so powerful. Whether it's her book, The Mirror Work, or, it's her affirmations, you can check it out if you've never, heard them. Or anybody else who works with affirmations. They are very powerful because they work at the level of the thought, and then they change, your emotion. So on a day-to-day level, just to have a high vibrational energy, you can actually create a positive thought, and you can enjoy the emotion that comes with the thought, if you must enjoy your life because of the experience of your mind, right? But true spirituality goes even a step ahead. True spirituality goes even beyond affirmations and beyond positive thinking. And sometimes, yes, I know you are feeling miserable, and there are other emotions underlying it. There can be an underlying precondition, or something really sad has happened in your environment, which is making you sad, which is triggering you. And in that case, you have to look at how you're feeling and everything like that, and what wound within you it is triggering, and you have to go deep within and heal it. I'm not saying that you have to whitewash your emotions. I absolutely do not advocate whitewashing your emotions. But I'm saying, on a general day, you can choose to think happy thoughts, and you can choose to feel happy emotions that are a result of the happy thoughts. Now, coming back to the point about true spirituality or next level spirituality exists beyond the mind and beyond the body. It exists at the level of soul, or it exists at the level of consciousness, awareness, right? Soul is also a concept, essentially. It's a mental concept that I'm saying that I am some energy, but experientially, in deep states of meditation, I do experience myself as the observer of my mind, as the observer of my body, right? So I am that observer who's passing through, a multitude of experiences of life, right? So when I'm in that state, this is where, I can always choose to exist in. I can always bring my focus, attention, and shift myself back into the present moment and cultivate a sense of mindfulness about everything that I do. That I can choose to live moment by moment. I can choose to experience the truth of life just as it is by being a keen observer. And this practice, is the real practice of spirituality. It is not the spirituality of visualization. It is not the spirituality of, thinking happy thoughts, of manifesting, of thinking positively about life or about your twin flame journey. It is about truly being who you are, where you're at, right? And this is the most powerful thing that you can do. This is, the powerful thing that leads to deeper states of meditation, that leads to liberation of, who you are from your body mind structure. Otherwise, we keep repeating these cycles. So it is very important that a lot of us spend time in some form of a deep meditation every day, which is not related to the mind and the body. Okay? And if you are initiated on the twin flame journey, then trust me, this is what is really going to keep you very calm on the journey. It's really going to bring you back to who you are, bring you back to the present moment. And it is what is going to, in time develop a sort of a self-awareness which will be so deep for you that you will really be able to look at the wounds that you're carrying, that your ego is carrying essentially. Who is carrying the wounds? You as a consciousness, you're not carrying any wounds. You're pure and untainted. It's because you live in the ego and the mind that, the wounds become active. The unconscious mind becomes important, right? But yes, it is all interrelated. If the unconscious wounds and the pain and everything is too much with you, the karma is too much with you, you will not be able to meditate and shift into that space of, awareness, because that will cause a lot of interference for you. So both of them feed each other. So it's important that when you have these moments of awareness, you're able to look at the wounds of the ego. You're able to see what is hurting me. Why do I have this low self-esteem issue? Why do I feel so less about myself? Why do I, think like this about people? Okay, why do I get jealous? Why do I get envious? Why do I get angry? What is my soul contract here, with some people around me? What is my fear about money or about abundance, about twin flame union, about marriage, about children, about anything, just really knowing yourself is key. To know yourself is key. And this knowing yourself is enabled greatly when you spend, many, many moments in deep meditation. So I urge you all, if you can try, do spend some time in meditation, in awareness of just your breath. You can just simply sit and you can just observe your breath. If there is a lot of mental activity that happens to you, which, thoughts keep coming into your mind and you find it difficult, you must learn some form of a guided meditation, which will with time slow down these thoughts. Or one small tip that, I have, that many people have shared, is that you can do some physical exercise before you sit to meditate. Because if you do the physical exercise, the extra energy that you're carrying, which is coming in the form of thoughts when you're meditating, gets dissipated and dissolved. So you can do some intense exercise if your body permits. Maybe you can go for a run, you can dance for 15-20 minutes. Just do something, you can jog on the spot, whatever it is, and then you can sit. You can do some yoga as well. That really balances your body. So essentially that meditation is a very important tool for your journey, and in time you will see that it is way more important than your twin flame also. Because it is your connection to who you are, it is your connection to the divine, right? And only when, you've met the divine and you've met your true self and you've really seen who you are you able to recognize the twin flame connection for what it is. And it is then able to manifest in the physical as well, because you're no longer going with the waves of the thought and the emotions. So now I can really see the sensibility in, when Sadhguru said this, that choose what you want to choose. Do you choose to be joyful or do you choose to be miserable? There is deep sensibility in it. It is a choice. It really is a choice. and maybe it triggers a lot of you, and many of you may think, no, but you know what, it's not my choice, I woke up like this, I felt like this. I understand it. At the level of awareness, at which you are very associated with the mind, and you feel like you're the mind, you are the thoughts. There is no distinction that at the moment you feel with your thoughts, you feel like whatever you're feeling and thinking is you. And I have been there myself for so many years in my life. All my life pretty much I've been like that as well, thinking there's nothing beyond how I'm perceiving life, right? My sense is the right sense. Oh, I think that it is pretty, bad, so it is pretty bad, right? But deep spirituality and deep spiritual maturity will make you see that you're not the body and you're not the mind, all right? So this is an important thing. Do any kind of a meditation that works for you. There are so many people who are influenced by Paramhansa Yogananda, and they undertake Kriya Yoga. I know many in America have done that. Then there is obviously Osho as well. If you ever listen to him, you can definitely give him a listen. He speaks so much about, unconditioning of the mind. There is Jiddu Krishnamurti as well, who spoke so much about, questioning everything that you're under, every kind of an impression that you have, true investigation of thought and, the source of the thought. There is Ramana Maharishi again, from India. There is Eckhart Tolle, obviously, he's incredible as well, and I really like watching his videos and the way he speaks of the presence and, you being in the present moment. That is all transformational stuff. So anybody else, that you relate to, right? Anybody else, whether it's from your faith or it's, anyone else that you've read or understood on YouTube. There's obviously Sadhguru. You can watch his videos as well. Or essentially, if you're interested, one form of meditation that really works is called Isha Kriya, and I will pin it, in the description box as well. So it's a very short 15-minute meditation that you can do every day, and it brings you into that awareness of the self, which is disconnected from the mind and the body. You have to be regular with the practice, and you can do it for a week or 2 weeks, and you'll start seeing profound shifts happening in the perception of your life. All right. So daily meditation is such a beautiful tool. Like, it has been life-changing for me since I started to meditate, since I, do my daily meditation practice. If I'm regular with it and, when I wake up and I do this, then everything about my day is something that is under my control. Any kind of a bad thing can happen during my day, but I have a response, to that situation rather than a reaction. I'm able to assimilate what has happened and then choose to respond in a certain way. I'm able to look at certain patterns underplaying certain repeat situations in my life and then accordingly choose how I'm going to respond to that in a conscious, loving way. Obviously, this has taken time, to come here, but it's a start if you get started on meditation. And remember that your twin flame journey is all about becoming conscious. It is about challenging the conditioning that you've had, to leave that all behind, to be who you truly are. How are you going to come into being who you truly are if you will not lose out the heaviness of the thoughts and the emotions that you have gathered from everywhere? Any kind of a thought that you're thinking has anyway not been original. It is just all, coming from something that you've accumulated over, this lifetime. From various things you've read, you've heard, experiences you've lived from other people, and you think it is original. There is nothing original in the thought. So it's very important to transcend the thought, to know that you're not the mind, right? We say we are the soul, so then you're also not the mind. You're not the brain, you're not the neurons that are firing these thoughts continuously. And this is exactly what happens on the twin flame journey as well, because we tend to get so obsessive about our twin flame that we tend to think, this has happened, that has happened, and we get so negative or we get so overly positive about it. Both those situations are not correct for the journey. So this was channeled to me by my spirit guides, and they had said this to me, that do not be in hope and do not be in hopelessness. Do not be in a state of expectation from your twin flame, and do not be in a state of, oh, this is not going to happen. Both of those states are not the correct states. You just have to stop thinking about your twin flame so that your focus is you. The more you're creating those thoughts, the more you're relating to those thoughts, the more you're just riding away with those thoughts and then the consequent emotions of those thoughts, the more you're feeding the obsessive energy, right? And the more you're chasing them. So disconnect from that thought, disconnect from that energy that you keep sending to your twin flame, and refocus all that energy and thought back to yourself if you have to, right? Or just simply start being in the present moment. Start living your life to the fullest as it is right now. This is what is really going to unlock your journey. This is what is really going to take it forward for you. All right? And once you start to be in the present and you start to, with the self awareness that you develop because of meditation, you heal your wounds, you heal the deeper aspects, that start presenting to you. You come into this sense of being a complete life in yourself. And you no longer need your twin flame at that time because you're living the best life possible for you right now. You're not thinking the best life will start when I'm with my twin. You're right now the embodiment of the best possible life for you. So ask yourself today, are you living your best life right now, or are you waiting for something to happen? Right? Something extrinsic is anyway not going to make you the best life. It's not going to guarantee, anything to you. And always remember that outer twin flame union is a reflection of the inner twin flame union. It's a result, it's a byproduct, right? It's a consequence of what you are gaining within you. This is so true, and I'm going to make a different podcast video on this, exploring how the outer is a manifestation of the inner, especially inner twin flame journey, and how it relates to a very deep spiritual truth. But meanwhile, do take this away that you are a complete life right now. And this was the original name of my channel as well. I'm a complete life, but then I don't know why I changed it to Yin Yang Love 1111. Something which was available, and something which spoke directly, for twin flames. And I might just change it back to I'm a complete life at some point of time. So essentially, this is all I wanted to speak about today, that you can choose your thoughts and consequently the emotions. Be very aware of it. Build your awareness of the self. You are not in control. You are the controller of the mind. You're not controlled by the mind. All right. So at any point in time, fear comes up, anything else comes up, remember that that's the ego which is trying to control you, but you're better than that. You're more powerful than that, because you're not that. All right. So do not be controlled by that. So, guys, this is all I wanted to speak about today. If you feel like booking a one-on-one session to me, if you're guided to discuss more about your twin flame journey, the challenges you're facing, maybe any kind of a childhood trauma that you find difficult to tide over, because I've done a lot of work on that, with myself, and I've done a lot of research and have pursued certifications, for that area. Then you can definitely write to me. My email address is imacompletelife@gmail.com. Or if you need any other kind of a support in your personal life or something like that, and you think that I'll be able to advise you, then you can definitely work with me. So I will see you in the next podcast video. Have a beautiful, wonderful day, and sending you a lot of love.